Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be playing Super Metroid. I'm emulating it on the Nintendo Switch, and hopefully I'm hoping to get past the Ceres research laboratory and get the bombs in my first part of this walkthrough. And this is just the title screen. I'm not actually playing. For those of you who don't know, if you have the Nintendo Switch Online membership, on the eShop you can get an SNES collection like this for free, and you can play a catalog of SNES games this big. Yeah, and tons of genres: sports, adventure, action. So I'll be starting my walkthrough on a new file. Even though I normally do, in this walkthrough I won't be using the Nintendo Switch widgets. I'll just be playing it like I would if it would be a classic NES game. I have beaten this game before, so I will be giving you a lot of insight. However, it will not be in 100% walkthrough. So while you guys watch this, I'll be talking to you about the controls. On the Nintendo Switch controller, left joystick is to move around, the left shoulder button is to aim down, right shoulder button is to aim up, X is to shoot, while moving, B is dash or run, A is jump. And as we go later in the I'll explain the different controls for different items. Now I'll just be reading this out to you. So this is Mother Brain. If you haven't looked at the Metroid timeline, I highly suggest it. Otherwise, the games won't make as much sense. So Ceres basically annihilated the Metroids, which was kind of dumb on the Galactic Federation's part, because after this, I'm going to explain more into the timeline. Because of that, the X-Parasites, the Metroid's prey, became very abundant, and they're not very good. So now, I'm pretty sure you want to look at this, so I'll just stop talking. I personally delivered it to the Galactic Research Station at Ceres so scientists could study its energy-producing qualities. The scientists' findings were astounding. They discovered that the powers of the Metroid might be harnessed for the good of civilization. If you do not like these huge cutscenes, I'm sorry. This is an SNES game, so I can't skip it. If you want, you can forward in the video and skip past this, but I highly recommend you watch this because this contains important information. And the station she just dropped it at is under attack. So this is the starting place of the game, the Ceres Research Colony. Okay, this first part is pretty straightforward. Because you can't do much, there's only one way to go. You just follow these hatches. They have arrows on them. And so it's pretty straightforward. At this point, you'll know where to go 100% because the game shows you the way. This is the dead researchers that have been attacked. This is the tank of the Metroid larvae. This next room will be our first encounter with Ridley, who attacked the station to take the Metroid larvae. You will encounter him again much later in the game in Lower Norfair. So you have to shoot to make Ridley appear, and he's here. So this boss battle will stop once either you or Ridley is at very low health. This is not how the Ridley boss in the later battle will go, because you and Ridley will have many more abilities, and it'll be a lot more satisfying. And this is a special control. While moving, if you jump, you'll do a somersault. With the somersault, in midair, you can wall kick off a wall by moving the joystick in the opposite direction and clicking the jump button. It takes a lot of practice to get used to, but it really is useful. Self-destruct is active. Another control spec, so you can shoot lower, is the crouch, by just going down on the control stick. I wasted some time, but don't worry, the timer is set, so even inexperienced players will be able to get out in time. So if you are clueless on why the station is just randomly self-destructing, it's because Ridley blew something up when he was escaping. Because the save system in this game will save when you go to save stations, but since there's no save stations yet, the game will just make you restart, but you won't have to rewatch the cutscenes if you die. But that's fine, because I was a noob when I started this game. I would be able to escape a lot faster, but I wasted a lot of time talking. So yeah, this is ZB's, where the main thing takes place. We're going to ZB's because that's where Ridley went. We have to catch up to him and see what he's up to. The first area of ZB's we'll be exploring is Crateria, which is the surface area. And at the very beginning of the game, it's not really open-ended, but after that, there's a lot of open-ended exploration to do. So, this is Crateria. If you didn't know what to do and you went right, you can't do much there yet. So, you have to go left and proceed into the plane. These blue doors will explode. Well, not explode. They'll open if you shoot them. So, we'll have to go down here because it's the only path currently. So, like I said, the game's not that open-ended right now. But as we go, it'll become a lot more. This blue door, you want to go here. You really want to, but you can't fit in the space. We need the morph ball first. And I am playing this off of memory of my first and second playthroughs, so I may get a little jumpy. We are still in Crateria. If you played the original Metroid, you may recognize this, because right now we're in original Torizo. This is where, in my opinion, the highly exposed Torizo was in the original Metroid game, where Mother Brain nested. We will be able to see the dead remains and stuff. Oh, that's my dog. This is where Mother Brain was in the original Metroid. These are the gaps of the ZB-tites, which look like jam jars. This is where they go. However, if my computer gets on low battery, I may not be able to do the entire thing. These elevators are the most common ways to change areas. This elevator leads to Brinstar, which is the next area. And this looks a lot like the original Metroid game, because it is. This is the starting point of the original Metroid game. So if you played it, you go this way, and you get the morph ball. Yay, it's a new item. And there'll be a cool jingle playing, and then once the jingle's done, it'll disappear. Oh no, this eye is watching me. These aliens are seeing me. That's okay, it's supposed to do that. So right here, with the morph ball, to control it, in crouch, you just go down, and then you can move. So you want to shoot this brick and morph ball under there, because we can't jump at that high yet, because we don't have the high jump boots. Then you want to proceed right, Here, we can't go through this door because it requires 5 missiles or a super missile, so we'll have to go down here. You may also remember this area from the original Metroid, where Kraid's lair was. This is not where Kraid's lair is anymore, but yeah. But in the earlier Metroid game, you needed the bombs to get there, but now because we can shoot down in midair and crouch and shoot, we can do a lot. So I just shot that sphere and this tank came out. These are the item statues, they'll give you items. For some reason, armor is not in these statues. So now, if we use the minus button, we can switch to missiles, and we use the shooting button, X, to use them. I wouldn't use your missiles as a default weapon this early in the game, because you have barely any of them. But later in the game, where you can get tons and tons of missile tanks, you can use them as your default weapon. These doors take 5 missiles, so that'll temporarily deplete our missiles. This area has that guy again, he does nothing. We will be coming back to this area for an energy tank. Somewhere in this general area. Right there, but we can't reach it because we don't have the high jump boots. So we have to come back later. This is another missile tank. It increases your missile capacity by 5. So then we can have a total of 10 missiles, but it won't fully replenish your missile capacity. It'll just add 5 to it. Now, this is pretty much all of this first area of Brinstar we can explore. So we're gonna go back to Crateria. With our newly acquired weapons, we can go a lot of new places. So we're gonna go back. Now, the space pirates are here. They just randomly spawned when we popped out of Brinstar, and now they're attacking us. These space pirates are allied with Mother Brain, so they're not necessarily our allies, so you'll want to defeat them. You can defeat them with a plain shoot. These are wall space pirates. They are on the walls. All the space pirates will laser beam you, and if you don't kill them fast enough, they will jump to another wall. And enemies, when you defeat an enemy, they may give a drop. So, like, if I defeated him, I might have gotten this purple glowy blinky thing. That refills my energy. There's 2 sizes of those. The first size gives you 5, replenishes 5 energy. The second size replenishes 20. And at this point, we could also get what looks like a missile that replenishes 2 missiles. These don't add on to our maximum capacity. For missiles, that's missile tanks. And for energy, it's energy tanks. It's pretty straightforward. And the drops will disappear if you don't collect them in a certain amount of time. Now we're back up here in this shaft, and now enemies will spawn. The reason the game didn't give you enemies first is because they wanted you to just go do it. So you'll want to go in this 5 missile door next. These enemies will swoop at you. These will too. The second enemies take more shots to kill. So you just proceed into the next room. And this is the map station. It gives you the map of the area you're in. So now we have the entire map of Crateria. This is really useful later on in the game. So as you can see right here, these dots are where items are. So that's if you paid attention, that's in the door across from us. So we're gonna go there and collect the item, which is a missile tank. You realize we're just getting everything. The game is practically telling us what to do. That's because in the beginning of this game, it's not open-ended. After that, it'll be pretty confusing. And I'm pretty sure you are gonna get stuck. So this is a corridor we need the morph ball to get through. But as you can see, these blocks we can't break. We're in morph ball form. We need the bombs to get there. So I'll be coming here in the next video when we have the bombs. I will be hopefully getting the bombs in this video, but I will not be showing off any abilities. This room with an S on it is a save station. So we can go in here, stand in the block, and it'll ask us if we want to save. This is really useful because if we game over, we can start from a save instead of starting from the beginning of the game like we did in like Mario Bros. 1 or something. And that's also useful because with the save system, I don't know why I keep disappearing on the screen for me. It doesn't do this normally when you're playing the game, but it is doing this for me probably because of the fact that I am streaming this and there is buffering time or something. Now, we saw these enemies previously. When you kill them, you'll want to stay away because they shoot a spray of guts. Disgusting. Another morph ball corridor. You'll want to avoid these guys because you can't kill them yet. And this is another alleyway, if you want to call it, with these bug creatures. They come in waves, but if you just spam shoot them, they'll die in one shot. And the left and right triggers, right trigger up, left trigger down, both at the same time will point straight up. So that's a useful factor. This is the bomb room. Now we get the bombs, and once we have the bombs, the door seals itself and we can't get out. You can place the bombs by clicking X in morph ball form. This is our first mini boss, Torizo statue. So you'll want to avoid his little attacks. I say little. For some reason I keep disappearing on screen. So you want to avoid his attacks, shoot him with missiles. I do not know if there's a pattern behind his movements. He does give you signs to his status. He starts sweating, you could call it. His attack where he shoots out these orbs, if you shoot these orbs, they give you drops. So we just defeated him. And when he dies, he'll give us a bunch of drops. This concludes part 1 of the Super Metroid walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helped you very much. I'll see you in my next video.